92.7 WOBM. Good morning. Today we're talking about sort of James Bond. If you turn the clock back about 300 years, we're sort of doing a little bit of this and that. And Turn is coming back for season 3. And Jamie Bell joins us to talk all about it. Good morning, Jamie. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
So is that a good way of looking at it? I mean, can we look at it kind of like if we're trying to tell somebody who's never seen Turn, if we say it's the Revolutionary War version of James Bond, would that be sort of a decent analogy or no?
I think that would be covering kind of one aspect of the show. Yes, sure. I mean, my character certainly is kind of the foremost spy, I suppose, of the Revolutionary War, who genuinely forged a spy network called the Copper Ring. Was basically enlisted by George Washington and helped turn the tide of the Revolutionary War, defeating the British, creating the United States. He's a little-known character in history. Not many people know about him. So I guess, yeah, the stuff that I do on the show is kind of James Bondy, but there's so much other stuff to it. I mean, there's love stories in the middle of this one. There's true historic battles that we cover. There are for example, this season in particular, the defection of Benedict Arnold is a massive story this year. So there's so much more going on. I mean, I think we're trying to shove so much of the history into it, but I think that the template of the show is very much a spy story. It's a spy thriller, set in the Revolutionary War. So I suppose, yeah, James Bond in the Revolutionary War isn't bad.
Yeah, as you said, you do try to stick to history. Like you try to keep it, with a lot of actual facts with the show. I mean, obviously, there are certain things that you have to do a little, poetic license with, but a lot of the different tales are, right out of the history books, kind of, or at least using it as a guide map, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have great source material on this. Alexander Rose wrote a great book. When I read that for research to do the show, I was amazed. I was amazed at these kids, because they were kids aspiring, basically. And I was amazed that there isn't some kind of monument somewhere in Washington, maybe, in their name, in their honor. But I think the fact that they're spies, which I still think to this day is kind of like as kind of a cowardly, kind of shameful way to win or fight a war, were just forgotten. They were forgotten in history, and no one really thought about them, I think, until now. So hopefully we're, giving them somewhat of a legacy. Hopefully.
We're talking with Jamie Bell from AMC's Turn, which is getting ready for season 3. Let me ask you, Jamie, do you need to catch up and get season 1 and 2 under your belt, or can folks tune in, say they haven't? Can they just jump into season 3 here, kind of pick up and get right with the program once you get back on the air?
It's a good question. I mean, I think the good thing is that this is following like a historical timeline, and everything is basically Googleable. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, because it's historical, you can basically Google anything, and it's all a massive spoiler because you can see who lives, who dies. That's not that hard. So I think it's easily joinable. Also, both the season 1 and season 2 are all available on Netflix, so you can all just stay in your houses for the next 2 weeks and do nothing else but watch the show.
There you go. You can you'll binge on Turn, and you'll be all set for season number 3. You could also go to AMC.com, and the website there has everything you could possibly want. It's a really intriguing show. It's really interesting. I like it because I'm a history guy, and I like it because I like the spy genre as well. So it's like the best of both worlds. And good luck with the new season.
Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day today. There is Jamie Bell. If you haven't seen Turn it on. It's a good show. It's on AMC. You can watch the trailer for season 3 now. We'll have this all up on our website at WOBM.com.